think what you need is to have some set place you know you're going to. Somebody seems pretty reliable. So if all else falls short, you have this. But I think that once you're there, one thing leads to another, and people will hook you up, and actually your best interviews and best research come from all the further contacts you make when you're on the ground. So it's a little bit of both. You need the one to get the other, and they work together. If you land someplace and you don't have any contacts in place, you waste a lot of time. So you have to be pretty flexible to understand that what you're expecting to do when you go over there versus the reality, there is a huge gap. What I like to tell students is the whole research experience is really about that. It's about, this is your first chance to go and see how this experience happens in reality. And that is part of it. I was often feeling I was doing a terrible job in the Congo last time. None of my interviews were really happening. And people were leading me from one place to another. I thought that I had an interview, and then I would get there, and then they'd say, well, the women are up in the mountain because they're still planting. So after about a week of this, I thought, I'm going to go back with nothing. Like, I can't believe this. I have only 5 interviews. And then I found this other guy who was doing research. He was from the Netherlands. And then he looked at me and said, you got 5 interviews here? That's terrific. And I thought, oh, maybe I have to change my perspective. The best projects I think, are an outgrowth of a relationship with a faculty member who could guide you to the proper literature, who could make you see that maybe the question you have isn't posed quite the right way. It's not quite as interesting. Think about it this way. So it's going to stem from a relationship. Faculty here have made already contacts, very useful ones. They know organizations on the ground. They know institutional partners, other faculty member on the ground. So the best way first is actually to approach a Northwestern faculty member who might have been doing research in that country or has ties to that country, and sit down with that faculty member and tell them your interests and start to figure out who you could contact. And so it's not just even the people you're interviewing, it's getting air travel, it's dealing with a hotel, so you definitely have to do a lot of phone calling. And having said that, you have to think, is this a project I can do in 2 weeks, or is this more a project that's going to take about 3 months? So I would say that if it is someplace that you're going to have to get on the ground and make the contacts, it's probably not a good idea to think you're going to do that over spring break. Stay close to the ground. It's my motto. So when I arrive someplace, I stay close to the ground. I take buses. I try to see and mimic see how people are engaging. Just because we read about something doesn't mean it's true on the ground. And then you find people who could help give you access. An interpreter, for example, who is in the know, is your entryway. I would tell students to understand that the value is in getting an attempt to do the international field research, and not actually in imagining you're going to collect something that's going to change the world. What's going to change is you. Your expectations, your understanding of what it means to try to gather evidence or documents or interviews in a completely different setting with different norms and different realities.